Welcome back to AM Northwest. Do you have the right pantry staples to get you through a snow day or two? Here to share the ingredients they always have on hand, we welcome back the authors of the all-new The Look and Cook Air Fryer Bible, Bruce Weinstein and Mark Scarbrough. Good to have you back again.
Hey, Ellen, how are you? Hey, I'm glad it's not a snow day today, right where we are, but we're prepared.
Yeah, I love it.
It might be where, snow days come where we live. So we do have stocked pantries, and I do think it's really important to stock your pantry. I know that sounds like really school marmish advice from your local cookbook author, but it is important to have stuff around the house.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a great idea because at least you know, oh, you didn't have time to go grocery shopping, but you know you have something at home in the pantry that you can work with.
So what I want to know when we're done with this is how many of these things you have in your pantry, Ellen,
okay? All right,
so
I'll let you know.
So, I want to start with a few that are on my end that I couldn't live without anytime, which is canned tomatoes. And I mean, I get the number 10. These are my number 10 cans.
Wow.
These are the giant cans.
But here's the thing. Okay, let me say something about this. If you buy these big cans at big box stores and you open them up and use what you need, this is a great pantry staple because you can freeze in individual freezer bags what's left.
Okay.
So if you have canned tomatoes and you have some olive oil, that's all you really need to start making is a pasta sauce, and you got to have the pasta.
Yeah.
And this is chickpea pasta, but you can use regular pasta, whole wheat pasta, any kind of pasta you like. So always keep pasta, canned tomatoes, olive oil. What do you think we should have?
Well, I just want to say that the chickpea pasta is my favorite, but we've converted over to eating higher protein pasta. So pasta is always a good pantry staple, right? Because we make so many times. But chickpea's great, and lentil pasta to me is the bomb.
Why is there a big difference in taste?
Well, I actually think lentil pasta has a slightly more standard pasta taste than chickpea does. Standard sweeter taste like regular pasta. Okay. But also it has a much higher protein signature, so it's not quite the carb hit that regular pasta is. So I actually like it, and it, I think it's a little better for me.
But keep whatever pasta has you like.
So, yes. No house I've ever lived in has been without peanut butter.
Right?
And it's the pantry staple.
Because all you need is this.
Yes. Yeah. You're all set.
Spoon, right? And
breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Wait. Well, I add a banana to that. So I know that's not in the pantry, but the peanut butter and a spoon. But truly, you could put peanut butter in pasta. You could thin it out. Peanut butter is a magical ingredient in all sorts of things. It makes sauces better, but even just on a sandwich.
Hush. So let me say something. If you buy natural peanut butter the way we do, the oil has separated, The trick to this is turn it upside down in your pantry for about 2 to 3 weeks, and the oil will percolate back up through it. So you're not left with that giant slick of oil on top.
Gotcha. Okay, I actually use peanut butter on meats because I love peanut sauces. Yeah. So I use the.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's a huge TikTok trend right now.
It is?
Peanut butter on steaks. Yeah, it is. Totally.
Oh,
it's a total...
Look at me trending, and I didn't even know it.
See, Helen, you are in with the kids. I mean, you really... So we would never have a pantry without canned tuna in it.
Yeah, you got to have canned tuna, for sure.
It's possible because it's easy. You can mix it with pasta and olive oil to make a really easy cold dish or hot dish. You can, of course, make a tuna salad out of it.
You can, and tuna with canned beans in it, canned white beans or chickpeas is a great way to do it. And canned chickpeas, keep them in your house because you could puree them in the food processor with some olive oil, and you sort of have hummus. Yeah. Right? You don't have to have the tahini that goes with it, but this right here, that's the staple. If you have this in your house, rice. Now, we have many kinds of rice now. This is my medium grain rice. Why do I like it? Because with that and some stock, I got risotto, which I love. You could cook it just with water, have it as a porridge for breakfast. I mean, I love rice. So rice is just so fabulous. And you can add all sorts of other wonderful things to it, like dried mushrooms.
Right.
Dried mushrooms, really?
Yeah.
I love dried mushrooms.
Dried mushrooms are so great, and it's so nice to go into Asian markets and see a giant selection of dried mushrooms. I think these are shiitakes, right?
Yeah, these are shiitakes.
Dried mushrooms are so great because they rehydrate in water, and when you rehydrate them in water, you just made mushroom stock. And now they're soft. They can be cut up in a pan with olive oil as an easy pasta sauce with tomatoes.
With the tomatoes.
And you've got mushroom broth to add to it if you need to.
Wow.
And what is a good bean soup from dried beans? These are fava beans, but you can have any kind of beans in your house. Dried white beans. You can have dried lentils, dried black beans, and you could put the mushrooms in them. You could put the canned stock. You could use the tomatoes. So you can see we're building a whole bunch. And here's the thing with peanut butter. Peanut butter and tomatoes in a soup can be really delicious. It's a very African flavor combination, putting peanut butter in a tomato-based soup.
Oh, I'm going to try that. Okay.
It's the whole thing is peanut butter, sweet potatoes, and tomatoes in the soup, and then lots of hot chilies.
Oh, okay. So
I make sure these are here because of more.
So now I'm going to talk to you the way I was brung up. So I was brung up like this, and how I was brung up is that you got to have flour and shortening in your house.
Yep.
Because nobody can't have no pie crust without flour and shortening. I only make, sometimes I'll tell you how to do this. I use my grandmother's recipe for pie crust. It's a recipe she developed when she was a baker in an elementary school, and she only used shortening in her pie crust because it makes the crackeriest, crunchiest pie crust ever.
Okay.
And it's shelf-stable, right?
It is shelf-stable. It'll stay in your pantry. Now, since he wanted to add pie crust into the staples, I want to add something that is not out here. It's in the pantry. I'm not going to run back and get it, but it's a can of pie filling. You can have peach, apple, blueberry. If you're going to make a pie crust on a snow day, you got to have your blueberry cherry pie filling, right? So that's you got to make a pie if it's snowing
And
out.
then what's in the can right in front, right next to the there we go.
Oh, this one is chicken stock. You must have
stock.
Chicken
Okay,
stock.
you have to have chicken stock.
Use it for risotto or soups. Big bag of nuts. You gotta have nuts in the house.
And nuts are great for snacking. They're great for adding. Grind up a few nuts with garlic and olive oil for a really easy pasta sauce. And remember, if you buy a giant bag of nuts, divide it up and keep them in the freezer, and that way they won't go rancid on you.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, you know what? I'm feeling pretty proud. I got everything but the dried mushrooms and the nuts. I do have the lard. I've got the old Crisco can that I think your mother would have appreciated.
my grandmother would
have appreciated. Yes, great tips, you guys. Absolutely love it. We want to tell everyone your book again is titled The Look and Cook Air Fryer Bible. Mark and Bruce, thank you both so much. Great ideas.
Thanks for having us, Helen.
You bet. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.